Okay, so welcome. If you don't know, my name is Justin, and I am the product specialist for entertainment at Xsens. And I'm excited to have everybody join us today for an exclusive first look here at MVN 2025. And this is the newest version of our motion capture software. So we got a lot of good upgrades and major updates that we can't wait to show you. So first up, we have introduced a completely new biomechanical model. You now have the option to choose between a male and female body types with updated proportions and more realistic spine model, giving you even more lifelike and natural looking motion right out of the box. The interface also got a big refresh. Everything looks cleaner, more modern, more user friendly. Whether you're a fan of dark mode or light mode, we've got a lot of options for you. The calibration has also been simplified too, with clear guidance and even spoken instruction to make the setup process smoother than ever. We're also rolling out an experimental feature called auto sensor mapping. It lets you set up your suit without manually placing every sensor on your body, saving time, simplifying your workflow. It still is in testing, but it gives you a peek into the future of faster motion capture setup. On top of that, MVN 2025 now works with the HTC Vive and HTC Vive Mars system, giving you precise camera based tracking for performers and for props. We also have added for educators and researchers an academic license, which makes this powerful tech even more accessible. There's a lot to explore today, so let's dive in and show you what MVN 2025 is all about.
Let's talk about one of the first things you'll notice in MVN 2025, the completely refreshed user interface. Now, this isn't just a new coat of paint. The new UI is designed to help you work faster, see more clearly, and feel more confident in your workflow. Whether you're a first time user or a seasoned pro, we've streamlined the interface so you can get to the tools quicker with fewer clicks. That means smoother workflow, less time fumbling around, especially helpful when you're in a live or time sensitive environment. So the first feature we're going to look at is light and dark mode. Yes, light and dark mode is finally here. Whether you're working in a bright studio or a dark edit bay, your eyes are going to thank you for this one. It also makes MVN feel more personal and comfortable to use over long sessions. So let's jump in to show you how to access this feature. So inside of MVN, we're going to navigate over to Options up at the top, and we're going to go to Preferences. Under Preferences, you're going to have some options: recordings, 3D view, user interface, and experimental. We are going to navigate to user interface. Here, you're going to have options for your display settings, motion capture settings, and your permissions. We're specifically looking at UI theme style, which is right here at the top under display settings. You're going to have the option for dark or light. And really, just to access this or to change it, you just need to highlight which one you want to use and set that. And then down at the bottom, you're going to hit apply. As soon as you hit apply, everything changes to the UI theme that you would like it to be at. Now, I personally like dark mode, so I'm going to switch mine back, hit apply, and then we're set there. Since we're here, let's talk about the next update, which is the background color changing. With MVN 2025, you can now switch between different background colors to match your lighting environment, personal preference, or just your mood of the day. Whether you're in a dark mocap volume or a bright office, this small touch helps with visibility, focus, and just overall comfort. Now, this is a feature that we had in previous versions, but in order to do it, it was a bit of a long process. And with this new feature, we've shortened it and made it much easier for users to be able to access this. So once again, this feature is going to be under the Preference tab, which you can get to from Options and Preferences. So this option is going to be under the 3D view, and we're looking for 3D viewport color. And then you just want to go ahead and click the actual color icon, which brings up the Select Color tab. And here you can change the background color to whatever you would like. Now, something to note is if you have a recorded file, you can make the change to the background, hit OK. You're going to have to close the file and then reopen it to see the change to the background. But in a live preview, when you change the background color, it will happen instantaneously. So, for instance, I'm using a recorded file right now. So if I want to switch to a green background, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'll hit OK here. Again, I'll need to close the file out. navigate back to File, Open, and then find my motion capture file. And once I open it, as you can see, the background now is changed to the green color that I had selected under the background change. And as I stated earlier, if we start a live session by clicking the live session button, we're gonna bypass setting up anything in the configuration, but we're basically in a live session right here. And if I go to options and preferences, go to 3D view, and then when I click on the color, if I click the color and hit OK, the change is instantaneous. So you don't have to close and reopen anything. With the live feed, it just changes automatically right away, just like that. All right, let's talk about one of the biggest updates in MVN 2025, which is the brand new biomechanical model. This is a major leap forward in how we represent and track the human body. It's built from the ground up for more accuracy, realism, and flexibility. For the first time ever, MVN now supports selectable body profiles: male, female, and the classic legacy model. These profiles are built on an updated anthropometric data and provide a more anatomically accurate base, which means better scaling, more realistic motion, and improved performance across a wide range of body types. So let's get into the details. So we've added a greater range of motion, especially in the spine flexion and extension. And most importantly, we've introduced a physiological lumbopelvic rhythm. This means we now simulate the natural S to C curve dynamics of the spine as the body moves, giving you much more realistic posture and motion, especially in expressive upper body performances. Thanks to the improved anatomical representation, the model also boosts kinematic accuracy across both upper and lower body. So everything from the shoulder rolls to foot placement feel just a bit more human. And when you're working in animation or biomechanics or even in virtual production, the realism really matters. The new biomechanical model delivers better performance with less cleanup and lays a foundation for an even smarter, more adaptive mocap going forward. So whether you're capturing nuanced character motion, analyzing athletic performance, or pushing boundaries in XR, this new model gives you a more natural, flexible, and future-ready mocap foundation. So very quickly, I'm going to show you where you can access and switch these models. So if we open up a capture configuration window, under biomechanical model right here, you can select legacy, you can select the new male biomechanical model or the new female. You can select it here, or under options, preferences, and under user interface, you can select what biomechanical model will be used when opening your software. And again, it'll be legacy, female, or male. MVN 2025 now integrates with the HTC Vive Mars camera tracking system. If you're working in virtual production or live XR environments, this is a huge deal. With the integration, you can now use camera tracking data from the Vive Mars to lock your motion capture to the real-world camera's position and movement, bringing virtual performance into perfect sync with the physical camera movement. Your talent can move freely, your physical camera can move freely, and MVN stays perfectly in sync. That's precise, real-time position tracking for both performers and props, which is critical when you're working on green screen stages, virtual sets, or LED volumes. So if you'd like more details about the HTC Vive, we're going to be going live this July to walk you through how to integrate the HTC Vive with the Xsens motion capture system. If you're working in VR, virtual production, or immersive experiences, this is a setup you'll want to see in action. We'll cover how to get everything connected, what kind of tracking improvements you can expect, and answer some of your questions live. But if you want to dive into this earlier, you can head over to our knowledge base at movella.com under the Learn and Support tab. Okay, let's talk about the last major update for MVN 2025, which is called Auto Sensor Mapping. With Auto Sensor Mapping, MVN software can now automatically figure out where each sensor is on the body without needing a predefined placement. So instead of carefully attaching each sensor in the exact right spot, you can just suit up and MVN does the mapping for you. This is great for quick setups, remote shoots, or when you need to move fast. It can help reduce prep time and lower the pressure on sensor placement accuracy. Now, it's very important to note that this is only possible with a full body Awinda setup. Now, in order to set this up, you need to navigate over to Options, Preferences, And then under experimental, you'll see enable ASM. Now, once you click this and hit apply, MVN will need to restart. But once it does restart, if we open up the configuration window, you will see in red, ASM is enabled. Once ASM is set up, you can then perform your calibration with a few extra steps. Go ahead and hit the calibration button to begin your calibration process. First, go ahead and get in an N pose or a T pose. We recommend an N pose. You're going to hold this for about 3 to 4 seconds. Then you're going to perform the movement portion of the calibration. We recommend walking in figure eights for this. Once this is done, you're going to raise your right hand. Then you're going to raise your left hand. You're going to raise your right leg. And then you're going to raise your left leg. Once this is done, you're going to perform one last N pose for roughly 3 to 4 seconds, and MVN will then use those extra movements to assign the sensors to the body.
Okay, guys, that was kind of a quick preview as to all the updates that we have coming out for MVN 2025. Does anybody have any questions specifically about some of the updates that we have, or MVN in general, maybe their hardware? Um, yeah, just let me know. We'll take a look at chat and see what we have. Okay, so Simon is asking, does the figure eight walk for calibration improve data accuracy over a straight walk for calibration? So the answer is yes. So we've been obviously internally, the product specialists and internal team, we are always looking for ways that we can feed better data into the system, the body packs, the sensors, and we have found just over time doing that figure eight walk has the hip movement, the side to side hip movement just really increases the chance of getting a good calibration. So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. Christian asks, is HD processing faster in this new version? To answer your question, yes, it is. We did do some updates under the hood, and it's again, it's definitely more of a highly technical stuff that all the engineers have worked on. But under the hood, the HDB processing has actually gotten better. The calibration process has gotten smoother. The live feed that you actually see is going to be smoother and looks better. So under the hood, yes, we have done some improvements also. Streaming menu button. Oh, I can't find. Okay. So yes, that's going to be that streaming button. Okay, so I can't find the streaming menu button anymore in the UI besides the option dropdown. Yes, you are correct on that. That is going to be added back in the next update. But until then, yeah, you're just going to go ahead and navigate to that options and then the network streamer. Let's see. Are there any updates on improving the connection for hand-to-hand contact? That's and Adam. That's actually an interesting question. We are definitely looking into a lot of advancements with the 3D positional aiding. So that's something that we feel is going to really help with, again, that hand-to-hand contact, just multi-actor capturing, and then really just very close interaction with two humans. So yes, to answer your question, we are definitely putting a lot of effort into the 3D positional aiding. Okay. Yeah. So Simon asks, have you tested the new spine model when sitting slash slumping in chairs? Previous models always looked more straight. Yes, we have. I actually, as funny as it is, I actually have some great data that I was able to collect with specifically sitting. Because yes, to answer to kind of go into your question a little bit more, that was always something that I noticed. So I would go on visits or demos for different studios, and then some of the animators would always ask, sit down in a chair. That would be the first thing that they would always ask is just sit down in the chair. Let me see how it looks. So that was definitely something that we were very interested to look at and interested in improving. And again, since the spine has a little bit, it has more flexion and more rotation this way. It again, yeah, the actor looks a little bit more natural sitting in a chair instead of looking so rigid and straight. So yes, to answer your question. Let's see. So that's an interesting question. So Benjamin actually asked if a female 3D character should be played by a man, what should be set, a man or woman? To be completely honest, I would probably set it as male, just so you're getting a closer one to one as to what the actor is actually performing. That's the main reason that we actually have the male, the female, and we kept the legacy just in case the two different models weren't working, or that's just what your preference is on the legacy. But to answer your question, I would probably still go male to male, even though that male actor is going to be retargeted onto a female. You're going to get a closer one to one as to what the actor is actually doing. May I ask what are the main differences between the male and the female models? So yes, to answer your question, the width of the hips are different for the female. The width of the shoulders is also different for the male. So again, so the male performer, or I'm sorry, the male biomechanical model definitely is more set like a kind of like a V, and then the female model is set more of like almost like an hourglass, like a traditional hourglass. So we're definitely those are the big improvements, but the major improvement really was in the spine itself. Um, I Let's see if I actually can share some stuff with you guys. Hang tight here. So hopefully you guys can see my screen here. So the big thing that we really worked on here in the older biomechanical model, the bottom of the spine here was basically set into the middle of the pelvis, which again, it's not the natural curve of how the spine goes. And so we've corrected the spine up at the top, and then we've corrected where the spine uh, connects to the pelvis in the back here. So just these two are just again really correcting the spine, fixed so many things in the upper shoulders, how the hips sit. It was a major, um, yeah, it was a major change that really affected everything. Um, and to kind of go into the history of it a little bit, our old legacy model was based on a very large Caucasian male cadaver, and so it wasn't super accurate to I mean to all the different body types that we have. So creating these two or these three separate different body types should hopefully give closer one-to-one accuracy when you're recording. Eduardo asks, has the workflow changed at all? Meaning capture, HTTP process, FBX export? No, it's all still the same. It's exactly the same as it was before. You're just going to notice the capture is going to be a bit cleaner. The HTTP processing is going to be a little bit faster, and hopefully that data is going to look a lot better. Okay, so how would you go about recording animations that involve physical contact, like tackling, like football games, things like that? So for that, you would definitely want to look into the 3D positional aiding. So you would definitely want to look maybe towards the HTC Vive or the HTC Vive Mars for getting additional positional aiding, potentially having one of the Vive pucks on the ground, and then maybe another one on or multiple, say one on one of the actors, another one on the other actor. The more of those pucks that you can actually utilize inside your scene or on your characters, the better the position lighting is going to be. So I would definitely say for that type of capture, you're going to be looking at wanting to utilize the 3D position lighting. Okay, so may I ask what is the data of the new models based on? So it is still based off of it's still based off of medical research that that we had, but it's just much newer. The data that we had was very old, and I believe the data that we have now is much more current to actual body proportion and body segment. So it's just again, it's utilizing male and female, and also just newer data that's come through with physical human research. That's actually a great question. Is it possible to change the body profiles between legacy male and female in an existing recording file? So the answer is no. So that's definitely something you want to be careful with. You need to set the character or the biomechanical model before the recording. So that's a very important thing. So that's a great question. So if you again, maybe you set it to legacy, but you actually needed to use a female, you would then have to re-record the file utilizing the female model. Adam, that's actually a great question, too. Um, this is something that we have brought up, and I will definitely make sure to add notes on this. I do know that the uh, exporting is USD versus FBX, especially for especially for like VR stuff like that. Yes, so I will make sure to make a note of that, and then we'll tackle that a little bit later. But we have talked about potentially having more file types for exporting. Let's see, is there a way to? Okay, so do the new models help with data capture of actors laying down as well? We found with legacy model there could be drifting, bouncing when we try to record. So it should, yes. So the answer to that should be yes. Um, you're definitely still going to probably need to do some reprocessing after the laying down. Um, but but yes, to answer your question, you will see an improvement with those files. And just for anybody at all, if there are any if you have any technical questions, or even if you just want to see some technical data that we've collected since we started with the new MVN 2025, reach out directly, support at movella.com, and you'll get one of the product specialists, and we can all of us have tons of data as far as FBX files and MBN files. If you want to take a look at some of the recordings we have that show, again, really show the spine flexion, we have tons of stuff with hand data, laying down, sitting down, all that. So just you can reach out direct, and we can get you some of those files, even if you just want to take a look to see how it looks. Improvements on the live link for Unreal 5, especially on the foot drifting. Yes. So we are currently working with Epic right now to make sure we have our 5455 validation completed, and we should have the full version of the plugin available really soon. There is a version of the plugin right now. We did need to do some validating since Epic did a soft update to 5.4 and 5.5 because I believe they introduced an experimental feature to those two things that actually kind of messed up the plugin a little bit. But we're currently working with Epic and our plugins team to make sure that that gets validated. But to answer your question, the you will actually see improved foot. Uh, 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 you will see, like reduced foot sliding with the live feed, specifically with the new models. So with the new biomechanic models, you will see improved foot contact. So yes, to answer your question, and yes, I did see 5.6 is out now. Yes. Okay, so does a live link exist for Unity as well? And what is the state of it? So yes, to answer your question, we just released a beta version of the Unity plugin. You can get to that through the website movella.com. I will actually show you right now. Hang tight. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay. All right, guys. So again, very quickly, the Unity plugin, you're going to go to Learn and Support, and then you're just going to go to the software and documentation, and it should be under plugins and integrations. And the new Unity plugin, it's a beta version. It's down here, so you can download it here, and then you're gonna the walkthrough for how to utilize it is there. So, and please, if anybody out there is using Unity, please download that and use it. Reach back out to support at Movella and give us any kind of feedback if anything isn't working, or if you feel like there needs to be some sort of improvements. Just let our team know, and we can let our plugins team know also. Okay, how do we install the new Xsens Animate software? I actually can show you that as well. Hang tight. So you're going to want to again head over to Learn and Support. You're going to go to Software and Documentation, and the latest version is going to be right here. We also have the release notes here, and this is going to give you all the information as far as what the new version is, previous versions, the major updates. This is a list of bug fixes. I didn't really get into that too much, but we did major bug fixes with this version too. So um, definitely check that out. But yeah, you want to go to software and documentation, and then the latest version is going to be here for animate or analyze. So either one there. Okay, so Eduardo was asking, can we still use MVN Record on two separate computers with a single license? I use a laptop for capturing, a desktop for processing. We actually were talking about that right before we started the stream. To answer your question, no, but our team is basically what we do now is our team will give you a record license. So if you need multiple record licenses, support at bovella.com, reach out to us and we will give you as many record licenses as need be. Yeah, just let us know and we will be more than happy to set that up. The record license used to be integrated into MVN. We did update our license manager, and the new license manager wasn't working well with the integrated record license, so we just had to remove it to allow the new license manager to work smoothly. But we're also completely willing to give however many record licenses you need. So yeah, just reach out to us and we'll take care of you, no problem. Okay, with the new updates, is there anything we should keep in mind when setting up calibrating the suits inside versus outside? Is it too good to run in outdoor heat? Like, so if it's really hot outside, it should be, yes, absolutely. There should be no issues. Again, the improved calibration is definitely more under the hood, so it's you're gonna see. Uh, I don't want to say improvements between the two, but you're not going to have any issues. Okay, so Adam asked, with the new positional data, does it help alleviate issues with props? Or would you add a Vive tracker to the prop? So it just Adam, it really depends on what you're trying to do. So if you're primarily you're okay with your prop being segment locked to the specific hand, then yeah, our system works brilliantly for that, and especially again with the new biomechanical model, you'll definitely see some improvements there. But if you're needing to utilize a prop that needs to be dropped or thrown or then yeah, you're going to want to look at the position 3D positioning. Again, yeah, the Vive or the Vive Mars. That'll probably be it for you. Yeah. Are there any known bugs in this version? So that's a loaded question. But to answer that, um, we feel that we caught pretty much everything that was causing issues that we received either from customer feedback or internally that we found. We do feel like we did find pretty much everything for the most part. But again, please go download the software, utilize the software, and let us know. It's very important. Your feedback is super important to us being able to improve the software and improve the hardware as best we can. So again, yeah, we feel like we definitely got as many as we could, as at least ones that we were able to find. But yeah, your feedback is huge. As mentioned, faster suit up time. Is there an average time on the new suit up timing? Is this timing also included measures? These are so Javier. To answer your question, so the faster suit up is definitely for the auto segment mapping. So that is very specific to the full body of Awinda set. So just that's I definitely want to make note of that. That new experimental features is only for the full body of Awinda set. But basically, and again, if it wasn't too clear, basically in all the sensors have specific areas that they go, like the head and the sternum, upper arms. You can basically just grab these sensors. You don't even have to look at what they are and just put them on your body. And then the extra steps with like lifting your right arm and your left arm, and so doing those extra steps, it maps it out for you. So it's instead of having to look at what sensor it is and then put it on the body and look at the sensor, you can just place the sensors, don't even worry about it, and then it's yeah, then it goes. It's a fantastic new feature. Really is. We've tested it and we've worked with it a bunch over the past few months, and it really is very cool. Will that change the calibration of each sensor? Meaning, so Andy, are you asking like, will that remap that sensor forever? If that is the question, oh, okay. So if that's the question, no, it will not. It will just be for that specific session. So once you shut all the hardware down, and then you restart, and then you go to turn sensors on. If you don't want to use the ASM, you can again just disable it, and then you can just put the sensors on like you normally would. So yes, it doesn't remap them permanently. It's just for that specific capture. Let's see. So has anything changed or improved with the entire body dimensions that must be set before calibration process? Important for so um, it's still important to specify these exactly, or does auto mapping help? So the auto mapping actually should help with that. And I've always said, especially in the entertainment world, just capturing the height and the foot length is pretty much all you're ever going to need. You're going to get really great captures just from those two measurements. But to kind of answer your question a little bit more, yes, you still have to be very accurate. If you're doing full body measurements, you have to be very accurate, because any offset of the measurements, yeah, because basically you're no longer allowing the software to map it for you. You're basically overriding what the software would do normally, and you have to just be very accurate. Will the recording be available to me? Yeah, yes, this recording will be available. I believe our team has said yes. It'll be hopefully in the next few days. Uh, Okay, we've been using Xsense Record 2024.2 with the MVN link suit recording animations for a sports game. Is our workflow going to be positively affected with these new updates in Record? And would the Animate software give us upper hand in these areas? So to answer your question, yes to all of that. The newer software, again, if you're going to be utilizing the new biomechanical model, you're going to get better capture. You're just everything should be improved. You can maintain your original workflow. It's just going to look better and hopefully be a little bit faster. Okay. Okay. Here's actually a really good one too. Can you customize body types slash shapes beyond the male female presets? Not yet. No. Something I've always actually, this is just me personally, something I've always actually wanted to see is the ability to maybe even potentially bring in your own characters into MVN, so you can either see a side by side or like have an instant retargeting. That's something that I would love to see. I've already kind of said my piece about stuff like that. So again, yeah, I would love to see stuff like that. Um, is the new biomechanical model only in Animate? No, it is actually in Animate and Analyze both. So it's in both versions of our software. You and ask any improvements on the live link stream data into UE5. I did kind of touch on this in just a little bit ago. Yes, we are currently working with our plugin team and Epic to get the latest version of our plugin validated and up and ready to go. John does ask, does the Vive help with reducing drift and position data? Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Um, we have found, yeah, it greatly reduces that, and just in a whole. I mean, I don't even know what else to say, but yeah, I mean, it just 100% absolutely it would. Um, are there plans to implement iPhone face tracking to be able to record face and body simultaneously? I don't believe so. Not inside of MVN, but we do because we integrate inside of softwares like Unreal or Unity. Those iClone, those specific softwares have that ability, and we basically just we would pair together with those to get all of that together. Uh, That's actually a good question too. Can the person support themselves when raising their legs? This may be difficult for older employees who collect data. That's actually a great question. Yes. So we try to make the movement, the auto segment movements as simple as possible. Byron, the product specialist that you saw, who was doing it, definitely had really nice like shoulder flexion and movement, in his legs. But again, really, we're just looking for kind of like a 90 degree, just one, and then just yeah, we've done testing where we've had really nice straight legs or have your leg kind of slightly bent. So again, to kind of answer that question, we felt that this movement specifically was the easiest for most people to be able to do. How about record? So the variety in software is a bit confusing. It is. I understand. Yes. So I kind of touched on this a little earlier. There's a new back model available in record or just animate, but no. So the new biomechanical model should be available in those versions too. So yeah, yes. Oh, thank you, Remco. I thought I thought that was somebody asking a question. Yes, Remco. Thank you. I think. Let's see, I think that's. I think we're. Does it support the old man's gloves, Andy? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The 2001, it should. I mean, is basic. It's all dependent on the version of Manus Core that you're using, but even still, pretty much any version of Manus Core, our software will pick up. So again, yeah, Andy, to answer your question, you should be fine. Okay, guys, I think we're good on questions. I think that's pretty much about it. Um, so yeah, again, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by, for just again taking a look at the new software, the new updates, what we've done, the changes. I urge you to head over to our website, uh, download it. If you don't have a license, or you're looking to just test the software out, reach out, support at movella.com. Our team is absolutely willing to give you a record license. The licenses are 6 months long, so it gives you plenty of time to at least take a look at the biomechanical models, all the new features, get some recordings, take a look at what you could potentially be getting. And if you have any questions about your account or the type of licenses you have, you can reach out to sales@movella.com, and our team will be able to take a look at your accounts and then see what you would need if an upgrade is needed. Um, but yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody's time. And yeah, reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.